What's up, everyone? This is your favorite stress management scientist, Dr. Jess Norris. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I can help you stress less. Because you seem stressed, so let me help you. Let's talk about coffee. Anyone who knows me knows I love coffee. Seriously. And I'm not alone. In fact, according to Fairtrade, an estimated 1.6 billion cups of coffee are brewed each day. Millions of us start our day with it, and it's a companion to countless conversations. The running gag for most hardcore coffee drinkers centers around not being able to function before that first cup. But in all seriousness, caffeine is a drug, and whether you are consuming caffeine in the form of tea or sodas or chocolate or copious amounts of coffee, it has an effect on your brain and body. Newsflash. It also affects your stress and relaxation responses. And scientific research has provided us conflicting information on just how that occurs. So in this video, we tackle the things we do know about the pros and cons of drinking your morning cup of joe, or what some people refer to as the elixir of life. So let's say that you are drinking a cup of caffeinated coffee. Well, the caffeine in the coffee is a stimulant, and so this triggers the brain and tricks it into releasing hormones, or chemical messengers, to all of the other cells in your body. So, for example, caffeine stimulates the release of dopamine. Now, many people think that dopamine is a feel-good, addictive, rewarding chemical. But it's not that simple. Dopamine's role is not to make you feel good. Rather, when someone is about to experience pleasure, like that first sip of delicious, freshly roasted coffee, dopamine is released from the reward center in your brain, and it signals the brain saying, "This is going to feel good, and you are going to want to remember this so you can do it again." In addition, studies have shown that caffeine consumed in moderation increases serotonin levels. Now, serotonin is sometimes referred to as the happy chemical because it's so closely linked with feeling good and happiness. Now, caffeine also causes an increase in the production of two hormones, adrenaline and norepinephrine. Now, these hormones are your fight or flight hormones, which increase your attention level and give the entire system a burst of extra energy to help you tackle stress head-on. And for the most part, this is exactly the effect that coffee drinkers are looking for. That burst of energy to get them through their day. Caffeine consumption also stimulates the release of cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone. And this can lead to so many negative physical health consequences, from weight gain to heart disease to diabetes, as well as negative emotional health consequences, including moodiness, agitation, and irritability. And then you have adenosine. Now, adenosine is a hormone that calms the body, plays a role in sleep facilitation. Now, when adenosine binds to specific receptors in the brain, neural activity slows down. You relax. You feel sleepy. However, caffeine binds to the same receptors as adenosine. But caffeine doesn't slow down neural activity. So, caffeine competes with adenosine for these receptor sites, causing fewer receptor sites to be available for adenosine and its natural slowing down activity. So your neural activity speeds up. The result? You feel more alert in the short term. But this can cause sleep problems over time. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This is all great and informative and sciencey, but what does this mean for me, the coffee drinker? Well, there's good news. Some scientific research supports the idea that drinking coffee can potentially reduce emotional and physical stress. So not only can coffee keep us awake and alert, but it can affect the chemicals in your brain to fight off the symptoms of stress. For instance, a recent study showed that while caffeine usually blocks adenosine receptors from activating sleep processes, it also prevents the receptors from reacting to or causing a stress response, such as moodiness, memory problems, and increased susceptibility to depression. Another study showed that women who consumed caffeinated coffee were less likely to become depressed than women who didn't. Now, those researchers speculate that this is because caffeine encourages the brain to release more dopamine into the prefrontal cortex, which is a part of the brain that's key for mood regulation. And in addition, coffee is rich in polyphenols, which are a group of beneficial chemical compounds that can reduce blood pressure and improve cardiovascular disease. Now, am I telling you that if you drink all of the coffee that you'll never stress out again? You'll never have a heart attack? No, that's not what I'm saying. There are more studies that need to be done to really understand the relationship between stress and coffee consumption, but there seems to be promise. But now that I've told you all this great news about drinking coffee, I do need to mention that there's some not so good news. There can be detrimental effects when you drink coffee, but most of these occur when you drink it in excess. So many of you know or have even experienced that when you drink too much coffee, it can cause digestion issues, such as diarrhea, indigestion, and heartburn. But it also increases the urinary excretion of important minerals, including magnesium and potassium. And these are important for regulating your physical and mental health. And again, I've already mentioned that caffeine binds to those adenosine receptors, which stops those sleep signals from being transmitted. And that's what keeps us awake. And what's more, when you drink too much coffee, you can overstimulate your nervous system. Your adrenaline starts pumping, and this can raise your blood pressure, cause an irregular heart rate, cause agitation. All sorts of issues if you don't practice moderation. And that's the key. Practice moderation. Yeah, but what exactly is moderation? How much coffee can you drink? Well, experts believe that physical dependence and health risks associated with higher levels of caffeine can come with 4 8-ounce cups of coffee per day, or even more. So it's wise to limit your coffee consumption. In addition, you should cut off or limit your caffeine intake to ensure that your sleep isn't disrupted. So I will say this, you can feel the effects of caffeine within a few minutes of drinking it. But the amount of time it stays in your system varies greatly from person to person. So for some people, it's as little as 2 hours. But for others, it can be up to 12 hours. So if you go to bed around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, it might be best to stop drinking coffee around, say, 2 p.m. And you can adjust this accordingly if you have a different schedule or if you do shift work. And finally, a good tip is to ingest your caffeine before you exercise, because studies indicate that this can enhance your performance so that you'll feel less stressed throughout the day. So tell me, how much coffee do you drink? Does it help you with stress? Do you think you need to cut down? Or is the only way you're going to stop drinking it is if somebody takes it out of your cold, dead hands? Comment below and let me know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.